Nóra Anne Quoirin was a 15-year-old girl who lived in London with her parents, Meabh and Sebastien Quoirin, and her two siblings 12-year-old Ines and 8-year-old Maurice. Nóra was born with a neurological disorder known as Holoprosencephaly, which affected her mental and physical abilities. Although a teenager, due to her condition, Nóra had a mental age of 5 or 6. She had poor motor skills and needed help to walk. Nóra's mother, Meabh, describes her daughter as a gentle and caring soul, and says she holds a special place in their hearts. Her aunt, Aidan Agnew, said Nóra had spent a lot of time in hospitals all her life, and needed operations after she was born, to help her breathing. Her physical and mental abilities were continually monitored by specialists. She said her niece enjoyed walking with her family, but her balance is limited and she struggled with coordination. Ms. Agnew said that Nóra was a very shy and anxious girl. But she also said that Nóra was extremely excited to spend time with her family in Malaysia. On August 3, 2019, the Quoirin family arrived in Malaysia after a long-haul flight. After landing, they had to travel another 87 kilometers or 65 miles on road, to reach the Dusun Eco Resort in Seremban. The resort was located in the foothills of the Titiwangsa Mountains, and next to the Berembun Forest Reserve. They checked into the Sora House, which was a chalet. The family decided to relax and rest on their first day at the resort as they had traveled quite a distance. After putting their children to bed in the upstairs bedroom, Meabh and Sebastien went to bed themselves. Meabh later recalled that she had heard muffled sounds at the front of the resort that night. She said that it sounded like young people having a party. But since she was so tired, Meabh fell back asleep and avoided waking up so as not to exacerbate her jet lag. A few hours later, just after 7 a.m. local time, Meabh's husband Sebastien went to check on the children. Nóra was nowhere to be seen. They searched the entire place and found a window downstairs had been left open. Again and again, Meabh and Sebastien searched the chalet and the resort in vain. After searching the resort for a while, the family informed local authorities that their daughter had gone missing. Almost immediately, a search party was formed to scour the forest surrounding the resort. The police believed that the teenager must have most likely ventured out into the forest on her own, but they did not rule out the possibility of a criminal element. Nóra's parents vehemently protested this belief, as they were certain that Nóra could not have possibly climbed out of the chalet window and walked into the forest. They said that Nóra had neither the cognitive nor physical means of doing so. They suspected that Nóra must have been abducted. Meabh said Nóra had previously traveled with her family to Asia and Europe, and never wandered off or got lost. Meabh also said that Nóra always looked to someone else for reassurance on what she should do next, so the idea that she would have climbed out a window, even found a window or seen a window in the pitch black, is in her opinion, unbelievably crazy. Still, a team of up to 350 searchers, consisting of special forces police, firefighters, commandos, forest workers, and civil defense teams alongside volunteers and local tribes scoured the local area for any trace of her. Police handed out flyers to the local community and used sniffer dogs to look for her. Drones with infrared cameras were also flown over the jungle in an attempt to find her. They even used recorded sounds of her mother's voice calling out Nóra's name, which echoed through the rainforest in the hope she would hear her and walk towards her. But the teenager never did. On August 13th, 9 days after Nóra went missing in the rainforest, Nóra's body was found in a palm oil plantation. The find brought an end to a 10-day search, which had involved more than 350 volunteers, and drawn offers of support from around the world. Nóra was found naked, atop a rock, next to a stream about 1.6 miles away from the resort. Witnesses said she was in plain sight, and looked like she was sleeping with her head resting on her hands. The body was uncovered near a stream at around 2 p.m. by members of the Seremban Hikers Club, who had joined police, residents and members of the indigenous Orang Asli people, in the search and rescue operation. The postmortem revealed that the teenager had died due to gastrointestinal bleeding from hunger and stress over a prolonged period. They found small abrasions on her body and feet, but nothing to suggest that she was assaulted or restrained. It was also revealed that Nóra had been dead for 3 days before her body was found. Police had searched the same area that Nóra was found, multiple times in the previous days. They suggested that it is possible Nóra had woken up from sleep to go to the toilet, but was confused by the chalet which was new to her, and left the Sora house on her own. This is a theory Nóra's family strongly disagrees with. Since the beginning of the search efforts, Malaysian police worked under the assumption that Nóra was nothing more than a missing person. But Meabh and Sebastien have constantly maintained that there was foul play involved. They said that there was compelling evidence that suggested their daughter was abducted. One of which was the fact that in the relatively small area where Nóra was found, there were many personnel deployed to search for her. Not only that, on 4 different occasions, trained personnel went to the plantation area and searched it, and in fact, some officers were even in the precise location Nóra's body was recovered. They had all reported that there were no signs of human life at any point. That, for the Quoirins, is compelling evidence to say that she was not there by herself. A member of the Malaysian search team said that Nóra couldn't have gotten there by herself. He said that he struggled to walk on the path, which is difficult even for an able-bodied person. Dense vegetation snags your feet, and one would have to cross 2 reasonably deep streams to reach the area where she was found. He said that his boots were destroyed by the end, and Nóra was barefoot. He said he couldn't imagine how she could have walked to the place where she was found. There was also a ransom email that was sent to Nóra's family on August 7th. But police later concluded that this was the work of scammers, and not real kidnappers. An official inquest was launched to investigate the death of Nóra Quoirin, but it was ruled that there was no evidence to suggest that there was any criminal involvement. The Quoirin family said they were utterly disappointed with the verdict, and continued to suggest that Nóra was abducted. DNA samples were collected from the house where the Quoirin family had been staying, as well as in 9 cars and a wooden hut near to where Nóra's body was found. No DNA traces of Nóra were found in the 9 cars, nor in the wooden hut. There were, however, DNA traces of 2 unknown males on cigarette butts found in the hut. It is one of many questions that were not answered at Nóra's inquest. The resort's owner, Hanum Bamadaj, admitted to the inquest in August that the window of the chalet was broken, and that it could be opened from the outside. Some of the fencing around the resort was also broken, and had Nóra walked across it, she would have injured her feet. Sebastien said it was possible that Nóra was abducted, and that the perpetrator abandoned her when they realized she had disabilities and that her disappearance had attracted media attention. Despite the family's insistence that Nóra had been abducted, Malaysian police continue to press that there was no foul play involved. And after more than a year since Nóra's death, the truth behind her untimely end is yet to be uncovered. What do you think happened to Nóra? Was she a victim of something sinister, or did she wander off into the jungle and succumb to the elements? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and we hope you found our video interesting. Like, comment and subscribe for more fascinating unsolved mysteries.